Welcome to Field Maps for Reads. Field Maps is an umbrella application that has brought Collector, Explorer, and Tracker into one mapping application. Collector, Explorer, and Tracker are no longer used or supported on fire incidents. Think of Field Maps as a tool you can use to communicate with the incident management team, with other reads, and with the home unit. Be sure to provide clear and concise comments that help all fire personnel throughout the course of the incident. In this demonstration, we will be using an Android tablet, but the buttons and the processes are nearly identical to that of an iOS device. On your mobile device, make sure you are connected with Wi-Fi or a cellular service, then download Esri Field Maps from either the Google Play Store for Android or the App Store for iOS. Once downloaded, open Field Maps. Tap Sign In with ArcGIS Online. On the next page, under ArcGIS Login, sign in with your NIFC organization account, not your agency account. Your username should end with _NIFC. If you don't have a NIFC organizational account, you can request one at nifc.maps.arcgis.com. If you're on an active incident when you request an account, mark that you are a read and be sure to use an email address you can access while on the fire. Tap Sign In. Once logged in, you're taken to the Field Maps home screen. Navigate to your profile on the top right of the home screen. From here, you can change measurement requirements, accuracy requirements, sign out, and more. We're going to change our measurement units from feet to meters. Back on the main page, under the My Maps section, is the list of maps available for you to work on in a connected environment or download for offline use. The Groups section shows any groups that you are a member of. You can tap into these groups to see maps that have been shared to the group and are available for you to use. For this demonstration, we will be working with the 2022 Alameda Suppression Repair Map that was created by a GISS for reads to collect and edit incident operational data. Because it is very unlikely you will have cell reception or connectivity on the fire line, we'll need to download the map to be used offline. Sometimes GISSs make pre-configured map areas that you can download to take offline. In this demonstration, we'll make our own offline map area. We'll tap the three dots next to the 2022 Suppression Repair Map and select Add Offline Area. The map opens with the bounding box around the fire, and the level of detail is set to room. The size of your download is derived from the size of your map area and the level of detail you set, so be sure to only download what you need for the day. If you choose too fine a level of detail or too big of an area, the download will either fail or you'll spend a really long time waiting for the offline area to download. The level of detail necessary for fire applications is buildings, so we'll change the level of detail from room to buildings. Now we'll zoom into the area where we'll be working for the day. Since this is a very small fire, we'll include the entire footprint of the fire and suppression activities and tap Download Area. Downloading an area can take anywhere from 1 minute to several minutes. Downloading an area may fail if the size is too large or you don't have very good connectivity. If downloading the map continues to fail, either change the level of detail to county or make smaller offline areas. You can create and download multiple offline areas in Field Maps. If neither of these approaches works, you'll need to download from a stronger Wi-Fi or from an area with stronger cell service. You can also try downloading during non-rush hours at the fire. Once your map area has successfully downloaded, a check mark will appear next to the map and will be named Area X. Tap the three dots on the right and tap Rename Area. Rename the area to something meaningful, such as the division letter or the incident name or a physical feature in the area, and include the date you downloaded the area. Next, tap the arrow at the top left to return to the home page. This completes the steps required for downloading the incident web map before going into the field. Now let's open the map. You can turn layers on and off by tapping on the Layers button at the top. Let's look at some additional functionality available by selecting on the 3 dots at the top right. If you are in a connected environment or you have side-loaded different base maps to your device, you can select the Base Maps option and toggle between different base maps. If a GIS has configured bookmarks in the map you are using, you can use bookmarks to zoom to different areas of the fire. If you need to edit attributes for more than one feature, you can select Edit Multiple, then tap on the features that need to be updated all at once. We'll update the incident name for these different features. To view the legend, select Legend. Sometimes you will want to save a point, line, or polygon that isn't operational data to be shared with the NIFC organization, but is useful for your own personal reference. For example, say you're going to walk a line and want to note where you parked your truck. That's nice information to have for your own reference, but isn't operational data you want to share with the NIFC organization. You can use the markup functionality in Field Maps to store that information locally on your device. If you want to share that location, you can email, text, or airdrop that location as a screenshot to someone, or you can share it to someone else using Field Maps. Tap Markup, then select the Layers button at the top and select Add a Layer. Name the layer something meaningful. You can add as many markup layers as you'd like. To create a point in the markup layer, tap on the map with the long hold. You can label the point or make a note. To change the color, tap the circle icon on the bottom right. To add a line and arrow to the point, tap the arrow button on the bottom center. To delete the point, tap the trash button on the left. To create a line, use your finger to draw a line on the map. You can also make the line straight by tapping the straight line icon at the bottom. You can add a label, make a note, change the color, or add an arrow to the line. To create an area, use your finger to draw a polygon on the map. You can add a label, make a note, and change the color. To share the markup, tap the 3 dots on the top right while in a markup session. You can choose whether to share the markup with a group in the NIFC organization or to share the location as a layer or a screenshot you can send using email, text, or airdrop. Remember that no sensitive information is allowed in the NIFC organization, so don't share anything sensitive to ArcGIS Online. If you send the markup as a layer to someone, that person must be logged into Field Maps to view the markup. You can also measure distance and area in Field Maps. Tap on the top 3 dots on the top right and select Measure. You can pan around the map to set the crosshairs to a given location, or you can use the target symbol on the top right of the map to return the crosshairs to your current location. Tap Add Point, then pan to the place to which you want to measure distance and tap Add Point. You can get area by closing the line into a polygon. Finally, you can share the map with someone who has been given access to the map by tapping Share, then sending the map using email, text message, or airdrop. This concludes the tools available in Field Maps. Now let's head to the fire line to collect and edit incident operational data using Field Maps. To save battery life, we've put our device into airplane mode. When collecting and editing incident operational data on a fire, a read has 2 main tasks to complete while using Field Maps. The first is to collect new incident data that has not yet been reported. Be sure to work with any field observers, called FOBs, reads, or anyone else who may be collecting features in your division to avoid duplicating efforts. The second task is to update suppression repair information. To view attribute information about a particular feature, tap on the point, line, or polygon in the map. By tapping on this drop point, we can see the attribute information that has already been collected, such as incident name, point type, repair status, and more. We found a dozer line on the ground that has not been mapped and needs to be added to the incident operational data. After talking with the division supervisor and the division FOBs, we're going to walk the line and collect attribute information about this new dozer line. Tap the blue plus button at the bottom right to start collecting the line. Scroll down through the layers and under Event Line, tap on Completed Dozer Line, then tap the three dots on the right and select Start Streaming. As I walk along the dozer line, a point is being collected every 3 meters, which is the default setting for how to collect a line or polygon with streaming. The further I walk, the more vertices are collected to form a line. Once we reach the end of the dozer line, tap Stop Streaming. Only record the line in one direction, never record it in both directions. Once you are done recording the location, you'll need to enter clear and concise attribute information. Enter the incident name and be sure to fill it out exactly as your GISS instructs, or your feature could get lost. Capitals and spaces matter. The comments field is generally used by FOBs for reporting operational information, but since we are collecting this new feature as a FOBs would, we'll fill out the comments field, noting the width of the dozer line. For all text fields, we always need to note our position on the fire, like read, reef, or arc, our initials, and the day, so we'll add that here too. Repair status, repairs needed, repair comments, and repair priority fields are all the primary fields reads need to fill out and update. Because Division is using this line to suppress the fire, we'll leave the default repair status as in-use fire management. Once Division is no longer using the line for suppression actions, reads, FOBs, and ops should change the repair status to needs assessment. Once repair status changed to needs assessment, this triggers an archaeologist to assess the line for archaeological resources. Once the archaeologist has completed their review, they'll change the repair status to repair needed and note in the archaeological clearance field whether the line should be repaired using heavy equipment or if the line should be repaired using a hand crew. Only red-carded archaeologists are permitted to use the archaeological clearance field. The repairs needed field is for defining repair work or what type of equipment is necessary to repair the location. This should be filled out if the repair prescription differs from or goes beyond the repair standards set in the suppression repair plan. The repairs comment field is for notes pertaining to the repair work being done or is in progress. Be sure to always note your position, initials, and the date when filling out any free text fields. If you are adding comments to a field, put your comments after the previous comment and separate your comment from the previous comment with a delimiter. On large incidents in which suppression damage is unlikely to be repaired before winter, reads can use the repair priority field to designate the priority of repairing certain locations over others based on potential impacts and guidance in the suppression repair plan. Unknown is the default, but should be changed to low, medium, or high on incidents using the repair priority field. Reads can't delete any features, but they can ask a GISS to delete one by using the Delete This Feature field. If you see a feature that was never actually there in the first place, mark yes, editing mistake, in the Delete This feature field. If a Dozer line was originally digitized, then you walk the real line to make a new accurate line, you'll need to let the GISS know to delete the older, less accurate line. Change the Delete This feature field to Yes, no longer needed on the old digitized line that needs to be deleted. Be sure to note in the comments field why you are recommending this feature be deleted and provide your position, initials, and date. Once you have finished filling out all the fields appropriately, tap the check mark at the top right of the screen. This will submit that information and store it locally on your device. Sometimes you will find point features that were incorrectly plotted and need their information location updated. We see on the map this culvert isn't displaying at the correct location and needs to be updated. We'll select the feature and turn on editing. Once we're standing in the location where the feature needs to be moved to, we'll tap the Target button in the top right to update the location of that feature. Since this culvert was damaged by suppression activities and will need to be repaired, we'll measure the diameter and length of the culvert that needs to be replaced and note that in the repair comments field. Tap the check mark at the top right when completed to save the edits. To help remote managers visualize the damage, we'll go ahead and grab a photo of the culvert. Tap the blue plus button and select New Photo Point, then select Take Photo. Once you are happy with the photo, walk to the feature's location and select Add Point. You can collect multiple photos at once, if necessary, but remember, the more photos you take, the longer your sync times when you return to camp. So be sure to only take informative pictures that convey important damage information. Remember, part of your job as a read is to report suppression damage, so be sure to take good photos that document the suppression damage. At this point, we've learned how to collect a new feature, how to update locations and attribute information, and how to collect photos. Let's head back to camp to submit this information. Once you have completed your field work for the day and return to camp, connect your mobile device to Wi-Fi or cell service. From the Maps homepage, tap on the map you collected data from. You will notice under the map area there are local edits. These are the new locations we collected and the changes we made in the field that are being stored on the mobile device and need to be synced to the incident operational data. Tap the 3 vertical dots and then tap Sync. Once your changes have been synced, they are updated to the map. Now we'll review the map to ensure our updates have been properly synced. The new Dozer line we created is there. The culvert location has been updated, and the photo is on the map. If you do not see your updates right away, close out of Field Maps and reopen it. You can sync anytime during the day when you have solid connectivity, and it's good practice to sync as often as possible, but be sure to sync before the cutoff time given to you by the GISS. This ensures your updates will make it into the GISS before they start working on their daily update protocols in the evening. Also, be sure to sync in the morning before you leave camp and head to the fire line. You must resync every morning because the GISS works on the data throughout the night, and you'll need to get those updates before starting work the following day. Now for some operational data collection watchouts and reminders. If you have questions, ask. Don't assume the GISS or your lead read know you're struggling. Be clear and concise with all open text fields. Be sure to date, initial, and note your position on all open text fields. Use delimiters to differentiate user comments. Never collect a point or line on top of one that previously exists. Just update the location or attributes of the original point or line. If you need to remap a line that is inaccurate, make a new line, but be sure that the new line you submit completely replaces the full length of the less accurate line. Be sure to change the Delete This Feature attribute to Yes, no longer needed, and note in the comments field that a new accurate line has been created to replace the inaccurate line. Be sure to communicate with anyone who may be updating incident data in the same area as you. If you both update the same feature on the same day, the last person to sync their edits will overwrite the other person. This is called the last in wins watch out situation. To avoid this, establish clear geographic and temporal boundaries to ensure that reads and fobs don't overwrite each other. Know your sync windows and sync often as possible throughout the day. On large incidents, work with your lead resource advisor, who will work with the situation unit and the GISS. Stay inside the chain of command. If the resource location is sensitive or restricted, like archaeological sites or locations of threatened and endangered species habitat, the location must be collected using Avenza. Never collect or submit sensitive locations using field maps. Thank you for your service, and be safe on the fire line.